What's that mean?
We are here in the city of David, Ir David. This is the original Jerusalem, although most of Jerusalem is now to the east of us. Originally, Jerusalem was further west. It included, of course, the Har HaBayit, the Temple Mount. Just after the Temple Mount was David's palace, and then all along this hill, way up there, you can see, if you look, you can see the wall of the Temple Mount, and then next to it was the place where David's palace was, and here are the ruins of Ir David, of the city of David. This was, of course, from the first temple period. It's where the Jewish people lived, and hold this pen. This is, of course, where the Jewish people lived during the first temple period. We just saw the steps that they would take to go up to the Temple Mount, to the Har HaBayit, on Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot. And in fact, here we were told, and we saw actually copies of seals from letters, seals that were actually sent to the people who killed Yirmiyahu, Jeremiah. In this week's Haftorah, we'll read the first chapter of Jeremiah, according to the Sephardic tradition. And Jeremiah is the prophet of the destruction of the first temple, who told the people, you have to go into exile. And the king wanted to fight instead against the Babylonians, and of course we lost, and the temple was burned just in back of us. In this week's Parsha, in this Parsha, the Jewish people, we have both exile and redemption. It's the exile into Egypt, when Pharaoh puts the Jews in slavery, and then of course Moshe kills the Egyptian, stops the two Jews from fighting, and he's told, go and tell Pharaoh, let my people go. And it's here, this city of David, that in fact in the Haftorah for Ashkenazim this week, we're told that ultimately this will be a place where the exile will end. Just as in this Parsha there's exile and redemption, so too the Haftorah says that ultimately, it's from the book of Isaiah, ultimately the Jewish people will come back from Egypt and from Ashur, and God will bring the Jews back. Taka b'shofar gadol, and God will there'll be a great shofar sound. They'll bow down to God on the holy mountain, which is just in back of us. That's the holy mountain that you can see in back of me. This was the original old city, and we've just seen also the Shiloach down below us. At the base of the mountain was the Shiloach, the spring that fed the city of David, that fed David's palace. There was a long tunnel that was dug, actually during the Canaanite period, before David came here, about almost 4,000 years ago, and later on, in the time of David, to supply water to the city. And it was down at the spring, I just put my hands in it, down at that spring, that the Jewish people would climb down every Sukkot and draw water, bring the water back up to pour it on the altar during the Simchat Beit HaShoev, the great joy of the water drawing. This is Rabbi Shafner is coming to you from the city of David, from Ir David, the first temple city, and later during the second temple period, the city that David captured from the Yevusim. And I want to thank my son Ben for being the photographer.
Thank you.
And here you can see this was a house from the first temple period, from about 2,500 years ago. And here they found burnt ashes, actually from the destruction of the first temple, and also the many seals with names on them. Among them, actually, we just saw a seal with the name of Gedaliah ben Achikam's uncle. Gedaliah was, of course, the last person during the first temple period, the end of the beginning, the end of the exile, and of course is known for Tzom Gedaliah, the fast of Gedaliah. Have a great Shabbat, everybody. We miss you and we love you. Shafner is coming to you from Jerusalem and from the ancient holy city.